Hello, governors.
Hello.
Hello. I am happy that we decided to postpone yesterday. This is episode 12 of this is episode 12 of Are You Listening, God? It's me, Margaret. That's what I was going to say. Man, this is episode 12 of And Whose Fault Is That? What?
Tonight's episode.
Tonight?
Yes,
Okay, stop. Hold
yes.
on. We gotta rewind here because clearly I'm having an aneurysm. Hi, everyone. Welcome to And Whose Fault Is That? This is episode 12, episode 12, part 0. Phil, after you. What are we doing, Phil?
Well, yeah, tonight's episode, Are You Listening, Meta? It's me, Phil.
Thank you for fixing that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay.
How are you this evening? Yes, we had to skip yesterday.
I mean, you can clearly tell that I'm pooped. I'm probably going to be yawning a lot. Not on purpose. It is completely compulsion. I'm fried. But I am curious about this stream title because I'm sure that many of you did not know this. 99% of the time, we just end up updating the title with something random, or someone just selects the title. We don't discuss it beforehand. So I'm just curious.
I think I'm beginning to treat these as starter topics or seed topics / like teaser topics, because I like the idea of how we don't kind of prep each other for what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
So that you get a more genuine reaction. I think we talked about this before, where I'm like, I'm not going to tell you a story off air and then tell you a story on air, because then it starts diverging in weird ways. And I prefer this way, where I'm like, no.
Yeah,
pull the
authentic reactions. Yeah,
yes.
Exactly. By the way,
So
I'm pregnant. No, I'm just kidding. So yes, please.
It's a burrito.
It's a burrito. Oh my god. I would like to know why you're asking Meta if they're listening.
Oh, no, we'll get to that. Actually, I wanted to open with, so this week begins, remember my 1,200-page book assignment? 100 pages a month? So that began this past week. And I was, this past weekend, I was scrambling to read because I had tied myself up through the holidays. And, this book is just sitting on the coffee table haunting me for the last month. And so come Friday this past weekend, I'm like, you know what? I need to read like 100 pages before the 19th of February when this January. What month is it again? Before the 19th of January, before this podcast drops, or I'll be wholly unprepared.
Mm-hmm.
I did fail, not miserably. I'm like so they did the intro. So the first episode, and we'll include the link in show notes, covers the introduction and chapters 1 through 5. But they are not that long.
Okay.
And I'm on chapter 3, like halfway through chapter 3.
But how many pages?
So fairly, like 70.
Okay, that's a passing grade.
That is a passing grade, yeah. So I'm getting there. So I'm like, if I sit down for another, let's say, hour, I'll polish up. But I did start listening to the podcast. So, but yeah, no, it is actually fascinating. In fact, I like the fact that it's 100 pages at a time, because I think if I were to like read more, then by the time I listen to the podcast, I'm going to be like, wait, what are they talking about? Because even now there's a couple things that the hosts are like going off on. They're like, well, this is that, the other thing. I'm like, came back to the book and I'm flipping through. I'm like, where did they talk about that? So but no, it has been an interesting start where I'm like, I'll tackle this book assignment. I've never ever participated in any sort of book club situation, and this 99% Invisible is primarily a architecture and weird ephemera podcast. Like they talk about, I remember, it'll be everything from like there's hidden address numbers on light poles in Manhattan in Central Park that tell you exactly where you are in the park just by reading their coordinates, to why are manholes round? Manhole covers round, that kind of silly stuff. So, um, yeah. So the fact that they're like, we're going to talk about a book about a guy who built parks in New York and highways, which I guess it's adjacent, but
Do you feel like if you are trying to read something rushed, you will not absorb it in the same way?
um, no, I don't feel like I'm being rushed. So, but I actually also do think I'm going to read it closer to when the podcast drops because I feel like if I just blow through chapters 5 through 10 now in 3 weeks when the next episode drops, I'm going to be like, truly, deeply, what the hell are they talking about?
Right, yeah.
So, so I'm
Okay.
like, but if I can pace myself, but yeah, so it'll be an interesting. It's an interesting kickoff to this because also as far as the contents of the book, it was not what I was. I wasn't expecting anything, but I wasn't expecting this.
Hmm.
So I had no idea. I was walking into this completely cold turkey because I had
Is
no
it
idea
like
who Robert
pleasant
Moses was.
surprise?
Just like, oh wow, if I mean the introduction ends with the following sentence, where roughly that would New York have been a better city if Robert Moses was never born? We're not sure, but it certainly would have been different. And you're like, the hell did I just pick up?
Isn't that the ending of like a Hallmark?
Yeah,
Well, I mean, honestly, I just think that's pretty cool because just the whole streetlight thing alone with the numbers,
yeah.
that's just random fun shit that I love to find out about because, you know, but 1,000 pages on this man.
I
You,
know. That's why I'm kind of glad that it's 100 pages at a clip because I'm like, I can do 100 pages a month. That's not terrible. It's actually
nah,
pretty
that's
slow
not too
reading.
bad. Yeah, that's
That's
not
pretty
too
slow
bad.
reading.
Okay.
Um, but actually, to segue on that kind of stuff, the other thing is that Heather had sent me a link to something earlier this week of just on a website called like Weird New Jersey, and it reminded me of stuff that's similarly adjacent thing. Have you ever heard of Atlas Obscura?
Yes.
Yeah. So same concept, like weird things near you
Near
that
you.
you're not going. Yeah, like world's smallest ball of yarn and world's creepiest pair
Yeah.
of shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
World's longest cat toenail. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Abandoned buildings from. So it piqued my interest to be
That's
like, oh,
one
that's right.
thing.
I
I
forgot.
can't remember the name of it. Oh, what do they call them? The people that like to hunt for old buildings.
Oh, like the urban
Urban
explorers.
explorers. There you go.
Yeah.
I kind of went down that rabbit hole when we were in Michigan because I mean, it's Detroit's already a fucking skeleton of what it was, but um, yeah, I think that stuff's fascinating. So if you combine the two of them, all right, well, I gave myself an idea now. Okie doke. So sorry to interrupt.
Oh,
Go
fair enough.
ahead.
No problem. You're not interrupting. But yeah, so just adjacent to that kind of stuff. But yeah, the the other thing that came up this week is so Heather tells me that her son brought home these pretzels the other day.
Okay.
She's like, these are delicious. When we're at Costco, we're gonna pick some up.
Okay.
So we picked these up. I can't remember what happened, but we ended up eating dinner, whatever, working on a project. The pretzels were not cracked into till this was like early last week.
Okay.
Pretzels were not cracked into until I want to say Saturday or Sunday this past weekend. And then I logged in again. I had not searched for these. These were presented to me. I went to the Costco. They were in the shopping cart. I did not do the purchasing. But all of a sudden, Monday morning, my Instagram is chock full of these pretzel ads. Dots home style original seasoned pretzel sticks.
The mustard ones?
No, they're like seasoned. They're kind of like slightly spicy.
Oh, really?
Yes. And I'm like, never ever have I in my entire life.
Have you been chipped now that you have bags?
I'm like it's the COVID vaccine that it's got the nanobots.
Oh,
they're
God,
reading
the
they're reading and
5G.
pulling.
I knew it.
That's how they're setting my ad preferences.
I
I
knew it.
apparently agreed to cookies.
You know,
Not the browser.
no, not the browser at all. And you know what? I'm not the one that set the thermostat at that temperature, so I don't care what anybody says, for sure. Okay, so, all right, so...
But I put a link in the chat of
uh,
yeah, I don't know if you
in the
have it up,
podcast
but
chat you're talking about? I'm
in
gonna
the
have to
podcast
look at
chat,
my
yeah.
phone, yeah.
So I'm like, but no, hand to God, like I have never seen these ever in my entire life, ever on the shelf, ever, never been presented to me, never at a party. They have a very distinctive red bag, and God help me, I can't open Instagram without these. I'm like, I didn't search for these. I didn't know what they looked like. I was barely conscious when they were purchased in the shopping cart, and
Oh
ta-da!
yeah, these things. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
but it just I'm like, yeah, like don't be creepy, Instagram. Like this is,
What did you do?
I don't know what I did.
You must
I
have
just
clicked
like
on
I don't even
something.
I don't know. I mean, I love the I mean, we're gonna put this is tinfoil hat fun stuff because I'm like, well, who did it? Was it because I was on the same wireless network as her son who pulled them up to show his mom what pretzels they
Possibly.
were? Did she search them? And I was in, and because I'm now sharing the same external IP as her, when I opened up like
You got some
Instagram at her house,
tracking going
and
on.
I was just like, what breadcrumbs did I leave? It's you already know I hang out with this woman all the time, and we share the same IP addresses and the same cell towers.
Who would have thought that
And then,
last week we would have been
yeah,
talking about how salesmen like to attack you on the showroom floor, and here we are,
mm-hmm,
they're fucking coming in from the bushes.
yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. Did you
Salesmen coming
think
out of the
about
bush.
pretzels? Did you also
Yeah.
get the COVID vaccine? Well, guess what? For the next
Here's
7
that.
weeks. All right. Well, are they good?
They are good, actually. I was thinking the stupid ads are working because I kept seeing the ads today, and I eventually text my kid about like 2 o'clock. I'm like, hey, on your way home, can you pick up some tomatoes and a couple other things, and just go look for these pretzels.
Yeah, I won't be mad if you pick up some pretzels, you know.
Yeah, if you were to find
Get
these, I
yourself some
wouldn't be against.
Takis. You're a good kid.
Yeah, it's just yeah, you're a good kid. She
Little
got herself
little
bananas and
smack
it's
in the
like a
face,
cold.
you know.
Yeah,
You're a good
yeah.
kid. Get yourself some Takis. Don't leave them on anybody's lawn. You're a good kid. Yeah.
Oh yeah, speaking of Takis on lawns, did we have any more discoveries?
No, but there is so here's some fun fact. On Saturday, our friends Haley and John left to go on a cruise. So they left
Mm-hmm.
behind Piper. Piper is about the same size as Hunter.
Okay.
She is slightly heavier and
What breed are we?
a Chihuahua mix of something.
Okay.
I
Okay.
have
So
no idea, but
like a mix. Okay.
yeah. And we used to say that it was Hunter's girlfriend because he gets so happy when he sees her, and they're always
Aw.
playing together. But I think after
Yeah.
a couple days, he's like had it. He's about to be like, I think I'm trying to figure out how to break up with this chick, and she won't leave the house. So she's just like really hyperactive, and he's constantly running back to me like, please pick me up. I can't deal with her anymore. Anyway, so
Younger
Piper's
dog?
here. The same age. They're the same age.
Same age.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Piper's here, and we're watching Piper while John and Haley are on their cruise, and so now it's an extra distraction that we've been having when we take them for W's because now there's a third dog in the mix,
Mm-hmm.
and all I know is that Hunter is just a magnet for just crotches in general. Like, he would be on the registered sex offenders list if this dog was a human. It is instant. Let me smell your ass. What are you doing? Are you peeing? I'll just put my head right under it. Like, he's just always there. But now, because he is overly distracted because Piper's taking the walks with us, he hasn't been paying that much attention to the stuff that's laying on the floor or laying on the ground, rather.
Yeah.
So if he did eat something, I didn't notice it. But another update from next week, from last week, was that this week on Monday, I finally was able to go to that physical therapy appointment. It was so worth the escapades from last week. Truly, I recommend physical therapy for everybody. It's changed my life. Bro, what a waste of fucking time. Like, I shouldn't even have fucking woke up that early. It was just such a waste. It was such a waste. I got there. I had to fork out $100 because they were like, your deductible is $1,600. And in my head, I'm like, I have like one of the best medical plans I can possibly ever think of in my life. I was like, do they
Like,
really
I'm not getting
not
surgery
cover?
today, am
Yeah,
I?
do they really not cover? But I was like, okay, whatever. I don't feel like arguing with this person. She's like, well, usually we try to charge $100 per session. And I was like, I gotta come here 16 fucking times. Anyway, so she tells me, oh, you have to fill out this paperwork. And I was like, of course, which is why I went there early. And I filled out the paperwork. And then I said to her, did you not have a portal that I could have just logged in and filled out the paperwork online? That would have been time saving, you know, and I wouldn't have had to show up so early.
Yeah, and then I wouldn't have all my chicken scratch on this paper. I could have typed it like an adult.
Exactly. And she goes, no, because you owe $25 for missing your last session. I am usually really good.
I believe the pardon fuck.
I'm usually really good at composure and frigid attack. Like if I was a Pokemon, I would attack with a scare face. That's what it would be. So I'm really good with that. I'm good at like brace yourself and then, you know, kind of thing. And my brain wanted to go like, I'm sorry. I think you're mistaken because the only other time that I had an appointment, I missed it because you guys were closed and gave me no warning about it. Would you like to visit the last 3 emails, the last 3 voicemails I left?
Yeah. Not to mention, like, they closed, they canceled on you. Not the other way around.
Instead, this is how I know I'm reaching points of fatigue that we need medical intervention. I just started laughing hysterically to the point where I had tears in my eyes. And then she's like, and obviously she's lost because
I love it because she's expecting anger, annoyance, remorse, you know, anything, not hysterical breakdown laughter.
Hysteria. Like I just started laughing so much, like a tears rolling down my cheek, and I just went, oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, remember when you guys were closed? You should probably check in on that. I'm not paying that. And then she was like, okay. And I'm sure she got up and went to go talk to someone else. I was like, after I laughed, obviously, I was like, you should probably double check that because don't talk to me about it again. I couldn't stop laughing. I was laughing when she called me into the office, like into one of the rooms. I was still like, it was like one of those things where you tried to piss off Cruella DeVille and she's still cackling on the way to the limousine. Like it's just
like, do your worst, Karen.
You keep looking over your shoulder. You're like, you. No, I just, yeah. So, it was really
classic doctor's office.
Honestly, I lie, and it's unfair for me to say this because there is one thing that I got out of the whole session, and I was slightly empowered with information on what to give my personal trainer, because this way it's not just me going, my back hurts, I swear, sounding like I'm trying to cop out from doing any exercise, when it's like, physical therapist said, here's a list of exercises that I can and can't do. So there's the plus side to it.
Okay, yeah, that's useful.
She looks like a mini black lab. Piper's 2 pounds more than Hunter. Wow, I'm like really delayed on that, but yeah. I didn't think anybody... See, that's what happens when you don't look at the chat.
Yeah, mini black lab.
Thank you, B33 Fangus. That's Jake.
I know.
I don't know why he changed it. He had B Fangus and he changed it to B33. It hurts. Anyway, whatever. So, yeah.
But this is classic doctor's office. I mean, I've quit dentists for lesser reasons than that in the past. Like there was once, it was after COVID, where, you know, it's like I would always cruise in, cleaning out the door, and I'm cruising out of this. And they're like, oh, sorry, you have a fee? And I'm like, it's a cleaning. What fee would there be? They're like, medical equipment, COVID medical equipment fee, $20. And I'm like, paying for the Excuse. I'm
Excuse?
like, I'm paying for the masks and gloves you already wear anyway. Now, really? Okay,
A
bye.
medical equipment fee.
And I'm
Wow,
like,
they really try
this
to
isn't
squeeze in
in.
anything, huh?
Yeah, I'm like, this isn't included in everything that you're already charging my insurance. Like, oh no. And I'm like, but you're already wearing the face mask and the goggles and the gloves. Are you wearing extra goggles and face masks and gloves?
Yes,
No, no, it's the same ones.
there's also the administrative
Mm-hmm.
housekeeping engineer. You mean throwing the trash out, ma'am? I have to pay for that too. Like what the hell?
No, but
Unbelievable.
just that's I get into these little I get into these little hissy fits occasionally internally. It just annoys me because everything is just like
But
$1,001 paper cuts.
it's not really a hissy fit though, because you shouldn't be
No,
charged
but
stupid like, for stupid shit.
what I mean, occasionally this stuff actually comes out in the news where you're like, oh, I can't remember how many years ago, it was ages ago, where like Verizon, maybe it was AT&T, who was just like, nope, we're tacking on $3. What's it for? Administrative reasons.
Isn't Verizon going through a class action right now? I keep getting emails about it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep
Yeah,
getting
this is
emails about it.
on the topic of class actions. This is one that always annoys Heather, is because I get these emails about joining class action lawsuits, and I'm like, let's do it. So, I mean, in recent memory, there was one about, apparently I bought laptop batteries at some point in my life on Amazon, and they found me and they were like, you are due money because of a price fixing situation with batteries. Sure, sign me up. I think I got like $17 out of that.
Do you opt
Um,
in for those things really?
uh-huh. Oh
Why?
well, you're
Because I think you
because
forego the right to sue them, right?
what am I going to sue them about? A battery I don't even remember buying?
Bro,
The other
you're
one
in
was like, I
America.
remember
You could sue for anything.
I
Sat
got to
on
raise a
battery,
kid.
hurt butt cheek, like
I
whatever,
know,
man.
but I chose to do a podcast with you and go to the grocery store instead. I don't have time to sue people for
Right, but
silly
I'm not
reasons.
giving
Like,
you
I don't even remember.
$17, so you
Yeah,
just
I know you, but
yeah.
so and then I remember there was another one. Apparently, I had bought monitors at some point, and same deal. It was like the performance of the monitors was underrepresented. You get, $8.35. Okay. Um,
That reminds me
I
of
mean, I think.
an Amazon purchase I made for my water boiler, my kettle. And
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
apparently the thing was that they tried to deceive folks by making it by putting a Polish flag next to the name Mueller, but it was a third party that put the flag on the boiler instead, and behind the flag was another flag, and I was like, what the fuck is this? So weird.
Then you and I are on the same one because I bought Mila like she was on a little bit of a coffee kick, and when she does coffee, and when my mom comes and visits, it's her preferred version of making coffee is to do a French press. But I find glass French presses very delicate. I have broken many of them in my life. And so one Christmas many years ago, I was shuffling around the internet and found a stainless steel, like double walled one from, I think, Mueller.
Mueller.
And so I get her this French press, and years go by, and I got an email probably like 6 months ago, like same. I don't even remember the details, but it was something along the lines of Mueller misrepresented the shape of a circle.
It was
You sign
something like
here, you
that,
get
yeah.
$12. So I get these. They constantly, like, sometimes I'll do Venmo and just I'll get random Venmos in the middle of like a week. Be like, here's your $12 from that thing you forgot about. I'm like, excellent. Apparently, at some point in the last year, I got one of these emails about iPhones. And do you remember, like, in early iPhones, like iPhone 4s or 6s, there was a whole scandal about how they were like slowing the phone
On
down
purpose
to
with
conserve
updates
battery.
so that yeah.
$92.
Hey, that's a cash in. That's
Uh huh.
worth it. That
And
is
I'm like,
worth it, yeah.
yeah. And Heather's like, these go in my spam. I never click on them. I'm like, I know, but they don't go into my spam, and I do click on them. And if they look legit and they pass the smell test, I'm like, usually they already have my info. Usually these emails are just like, here's your participant ID, log in here. I log in, they already have my info.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and they never ask for anything. It never raises any flags because they're never asking for anything. They're like, we show a record that you made a purchase of here of this item that qualifies under this.
Yes.
Can you confirm that this is you? Yes. How would you like your payment delivered? And I'm like, either it's, and again, most of the time I try not to give Venmo because I think that's a weirder, more scammy thing. So I'll
Okay.
be like, you have my address, just send me a check. And they're like, okay,
Oh, that's
we have
probably
your
the
address.
best way to do it because you don't have to
Yeah.
worry about anything. Yeah.
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 So that's what I've been doing, and then I'll get these. And actually, this reminds me, I need to try and follow up. There was one that popped up years ago, and I think it's this one's huge, and I don't know what it means. I remember it was and I think when you were still working at the same job place I'm currently employed at. Remember we had independence administrators
Yes.
So apparently independence administrators was in a class action lawsuit for price fixing like everybody else does.
Yeah.
And so it I remember just like getting the email, signing up and saying yes, and then it'll be like, I remember it asked, hey, how long have you had? And I was like, well, I've been working here since 2006. So since 2006. And I mean, at this point, it's 10, 12 years of that. So it boggles my mind to find out, like, if that ever concludes, do I get $1 a year for every year that I was a member of independence administrators or more? And where does the price fixing go? Like, were you overcharging me for medical, like, insurance? Or, So that one I haven't looked up in ages, but it's like I said, I think these are funny because, again, I don't have any direct grievance, like I said, so I do not mind signing the putting the checkbox and the thing being like, yeah, that's fine. Just give me my $12. I'm not going to sue.
The only volunteer, like, go for it type of class action thing that we've dealt with over the last couple years is the 3M lawsuit, the earplug lawsuit that had to do with anybody that was in combat using the 3M earplugs. Because,
okay.
Yeah, so it was like military service members, a whole bunch of them. I don't remember how many, but they sued 3M and they ended up paying out something like $6 billion, $7 billion. And it was because they had hid design flaws, something like that. Design
so they weren't
flaws,
really
they
like
fudged
blocking
tests,
the sound.
they weren't doing what they promised that they would do, which resulted in a lot of service members getting hearing loss. And it was like constantly promoted, like, blah, blah, did you serve from this time to this time? And so I was just like, I'll ask him, maybe he wants to participate. Very low hanging fruit in the sense of like paperwork wise, just opt in, and then they would constantly like contact him if they needed anything. So yeah, they closed that. So apparently they settled and all that jazz. So who knows? That's definitely not going to be like $6, but
yeah, but someday you may just get a fun check. And it's like I said, it always tickles my fancy when I see these. I'm like, because they're never any, they're never, at least the ones I get, they never amount to anything like significant. Like, what is it? When Home Depot got hacked ages ago. Like very quickly, class action, very quickly settled. And now I have like 10 years of credit monitoring for free because that was I'm like, okay, sure.
10 years of credit monitoring. Well, it's whatever, right? You can't really.
Yeah.
You can't really. I would actually think that's more valuable than.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't think, maybe did my card get stolen on that one? I can't even remember. It happens from time to time.
Oh.
Your credit card gets burned.
Did I tell you about what happened with Shopify?
No.
I didn't?
Go ahead, caller. No, you did not tell me.
Go ahead. Spencer, thank you for following on LiveSpace. I got to remember to look at that chat a little more often. So, okay, my dog's screaming now. Over the course of perhaps like the last 8 months, I think I've had to replace my USAA Amex card at least 3 times. This is the 4th time that I've had to call. The first 3 times was, hello, USA credit card customer service. there seems to be a charge on my credit card for Amazon shipping charge or Amazon shipping membership. And the girl on the phone proceeds to tell me, yeah, that's Amazon. No. Amazon is Prime membership. That's what they charge. And it's like, give or take a couple cents because they keep changing the fees, but it's always the same thing. It's every month. It doesn't change. And when this was occurring, it was like $12.79 or some stupid charge like that.
Yeah.
And so I had the Prime membership fee, and then I had the Amazon shipping fee as well. And so I'm like, this is not Amazon. This is fraudulent. No, it's not. Okay, have a nice day. Talk to you later. Call back, get someone else on the line while I'm looking up people complaining about the same fee. They're like, it's weird because I canceled my Prime membership. Why are they still charging me? And then this whole thing in a forum where Amazon basically care agents were saying like, this is not us. You see this charge, it's not us. So I was like trying to argue with that person on the phone. Anyway, fast forward, she cancels the card. Because apparently you cannot just block the purchase and block
individual purchase. Yeah, you have to burn the card.
So USA burns the card. So I was like, okay, do you have it registered on your end so that this doesn't happen again? Yeah, no problem. Get the card 3 weeks later, same charge. A month later, I have to burn that card. Rinse, repeat, burn that card again. I was like, I'm done. So I stopped using the USA Amex card for Amazon. I started using Discover. I was like, maybe it's just USA is having a hard time filtering the fraudulent fucking charges. I'm done with them. Discover. Yeah. So I used Discover for multiple months until I switched back to USA. Everything was hunky-dory.
Uh-oh.
Until I get a Shopify charge for 10 cents. Charge for 10 cents? I was like, okay.
Not even a sticker.
Yeah. Two things that make no sense with that. Number one, an amount that small is usually for authentication reasons for a third party, like an outside bank. And they're deposits. They're not withdrawals, right?
Yes.
So when I called, I said, this doesn't make any sense. Shopify charged me 10 cents. She's like, well, did you buy something? I said, I haven't used Shopify since I did drop shipping 3 years ago. And it was definitely not on this account. She's like, okay.
And I certainly didn't buy something for 2 cents and 8 cents shipping.
Oh, yeah. Or taxes, whatever. So she goes, well, on the back end, I can see here that they reimbursed you $1 twice. I was like, does that make any sense to you? I get charged 10 cents and they give me $2.
$2?
Like, that makes sense to you.
Walk me through this.
Yeah.
Walk me through this concept.
And she's like, well, are you sure you want to cancel the card? I was like, this is not Shopify. Like, I'm just curious to know why there's so much resistance. First of all, I don't even need to explain anything to you. I could be like, hi, farted on my credit card, melted the numbers, can't read them anymore, send me a new card. And you should be like, yes, ma'am, no problem. And that's it. Why am I arguing with you over things that I personally know are fraudulent? And not only that, they just look suspicious. Doesn't your brain go like, she got charged 10 cents. That's already weird. But they're giving her back.
Your word should be good enough. It's like, hey, listen, I've been looking at my charges. I am aware, and I have my full faculties around me of me. I'm of sound mind and body, and I'm telling you, this isn't me.
It's like, are you sure?
Not make. Should be the end of that conversation. I didn't make this purchase. Okay, would you like me to file a fraud charge? Yes, I would. Would you like me to send you a new card? Yes, I would. Look. Simple conversation. That's at least every conversation I've ever had with a Meg. Hey, this is bad.
Not only that.
Yeah.
This is where I get a little bit annoyed. She told me she would overnight the card. It took 6 days for it to get here. At that point, I had already switched everything over back to the Discover because I'm like, no trust for you. But also, I've been with them for the better part of a decade. And because I am not the one that served in the U.S. Army, they refuse to give me car insurance anymore.
Oh, really?
I used to have them as insurance for the Altima, if you remember the Altima.
Yeah,
And
but
it
Jake
was
doesn't
fine.
think.
And but Jake's not on my account. Jake has his own account.
Oh,
So
oh, okay.
that's just my bank account. But because I am not someone who served, they don't
Mm-hmm.
want me to have the insurance anymore. I was like, okay, but you already gave me insurance. I've paid you for multiple years. And they were like, well, you can't sign up again for it. I was like, do you have anything that I could read that says that? Or any no. So I just
Huh.
brokers now,
Interesting.
which is like the worst thing I've ever dealt with.
Hmm. That's annoying and shitty.
Yeah. Yeah, because Jake is
I've
well, we
actually
have a
been
joint
friends.
account with what's it called? Navy Federal, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
really use that. It's joint, but it's basically his, so I don't even fucking touch it. I don't even remember how to log in. But I don't know. I've been thinking of like switching and maybe using a bank that's a little bit not friendlier, just more accessible in case things like this happen where I'm not reliant on an online workflow to rectify any issues that could happen.
Don't they all have an online workflow now?
Well, yeah, but there's no brick and mortar
You want to
USA. There's like four of them, and one of them's in San Antonio, and I'm not going to drive there to go.
Okay, so you actually want a brick and mortar. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
We could get into a very long conversation about this because Heather and I have, and both have independent online. We have the same online bank independently, and then one of its problems are. So I used to, if we back up far enough, I used to have Simple.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Simple was wonderful.
And then it
Simple
wasn't?
was beautiful. And then Simple got bought by PNC, and PNC sunsetted it.
And that's not so simple. Okay.
No, no. And there was many tears shed. There's a website that was actually somebody created like within days of the announcement. Um the community around it created this magical spreadsheet that grew it, and it is actually a fantastic resource of every bank's features and options and everything.
I had no
I'll send it to you.
idea. I just
Yeah,
thought
and it
simple
turned
still
into like an
existed.
Airtable. Yeah, it turned into like an Airtable,
Mm-hmm.
and it's now. I'll send you the website link. I will find it, and then we can include it in show notes as well. Um,
Yeah, I would
and
like
it's
that.
funny
Thank
because
you.
it's literally called Not So Simple.
Oh, really? Okay, nice.
They literally named it Not So Simple. So I will, like I said, I'm making. For once, I'm going to be good because usually we say, "Well, put it in show notes," and I never do. So I've got drafts open on the computer, and I've been copying and
Okay,
pasting
thank
stuff as we
you.
talk.
Yeah.
So I can actually put them in, and we can actually have actual live links. But it is actually, it was really great. But anyway, this bank has zero internet presence, and it's more of like one of these fintech places where we have a real bank behind us, but we just give you the app and software and stuff like that. And it is great. I love it. It in the simplest way, the best way I can put it is like Simple basically ran on envelope budgeting or whatever, the Dave Ramsey method, where the idea is like you could assign basically if this then that type statements to your money. Like it comes in, I've got 40 buckets. You divide that as I have specified in those 40 buckets, a little bit to internet, a little bit to phone, a little bit to mortgage, boom. And so the bank that I changed to does have that as well.
Okay.
But there, this is constant annoyances that Heather runs into is number one. So later they were independent, and then they were got bought by they were bought by a fintech start like conglomerate who's one of their main investors is Walmart.
Oh.
So Walmart doesn't own them directly, but has a very heavy hand in the situation. And so what Walmart's done is Walmart's go ahead and adopted it as like the bank that they push to everybody. And so if you'd like to deposit cash, you can
From
at a
Walmart.
$999 at a time.
Oh, God. Are you serious?
If you'd like to do a mobile check deposit, there's a $2,000 limit. And you're like, how does one function? Why did you do this? So we both have. She has.
Yeah,
I know. It's like, listen, the app The sorting, the rules, fantastic. Day-to-day functionality, abhorrent. And so Heather's like, I want a bank that is brick and mortar. And I'm like, number one, they exist. Guess what? They have none of the features you enjoy.
Yeah, that's the issue. Yeah. I
And that's the thing is it kills me when I look through this not so simple thing. Nobody adopted like Simple's concept and their setup had so much promise and people loved it so dearly. No one really, PNC bought the intellectual property rights and did nothing with them. So you bought the I don't know, 100,000, 1 million customers. I don't know how many they had when they bought them. So you bought, let's say, 1 million customers. Half of them ran screaming the other way
no
because
shit.
number
Yeah.
one. So I'm like, how? What investment was that for you? It just, I mean, it
Mm.
seems so silly. Um, and then the bank that we have now, again, I love the software, love that, but we find ourselves having backup banks. I've got a backup bank. She's got a backup bank. This $92 check, I tried to deposit that. It doesn't like the spelling of my name on the check is not exactly the spelling of my name on the account. It rejects it. So I got to go put it in my backup bank, which is fine. It's okay. All that stuff, at least for me, it's zero delay. Like that's the one nice thing is that moving it between my backup bank and my annoying bank is pretty damn instantaneous. But it is definitely, and I see that look on your face. You're like, wow, you have built yourself a house of cards, haven't you? And I'm like, yes, I
Well,
have.
it's not that. It's that I totally understand Heather. Just well, maybe I don't totally understand Heather, but I sympathize because at least for me, if I'm going to lose my mind, I would love to do it in person. Like, if
Yeah.
you're going to piss me off, I don't feel like I'm accomplishing anything screaming at someone that got 4 hours of training over the phone and is just,
And it's reading a
yeah,
script. Yeah.
and it's just like, you know, it, at that point, I'd rather talk to Chat GPT. It's just like, let me
Yeah.
go into a place, and I think people don't understand that there's like such a psychological hook to being able to go somewhere with the intent to solve something. I have so much
Yeah.
more control, or I feel like I have more control, even if in the end I end up getting this exact same spiel where it's like, sorry, we'll have to cancel your card, blah, blah. At least I feel like I'm talking to another human being.
Yeah.
You know, there's some form of connection that tends to ease my frustrations a little bit. And of course, like, a part of me is like, oh, brick and mortar, but no banks hold on to anything anymore. It's all digital anyway, so who really gives a shit? It's even if
There's
it's
a
just,
customer service. Yeah.
yeah, it's the facade. You know, let me go into the mattress expert of money. Like, just let me walk in and feel like they want me there, kind of thing. You know, like, yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking about it. Multiple banks. I'm just like, I don't know.
And again, same thing. Like when I went looking, nothing makes me happy. Everything just like disappoints me, and it's like, okay, it is what it is. But
Anyway, oh,
I'm staying
yeah.
put. So, but the last thing that I wanted to also chat about, is so you're a fan of stickers. I have lots of stickers.
Is this a trick
And
question?
no, no, no. I know.
Okay.
But I'm just saying is I was kind of shuffling around in the basement
Mm,
in the basement office,
mm,
the big counter down there, and I stumbled upon a cachet of stickers that I had, and I just was reflecting on this, especially when we went to the convention a couple weeks ago. Like everybody has stickers on their laptops and
mm-hmm.
stuff, and I'm like, I can't for the life of me, I don't know why, bring myself to stickering my laptop or my phone or anything. I don't know what it is, and I don't know if it's I'm being precious about my stickers or I don't know. But I am capable of using them, but even then I will so maybe over the summer, I think I had sent you a picture. I had come up with this brilliant idea. We go to the beach down in
Mm-hmm.
New Jersey, and then everyone always has sand on their feet. And I went to Harbor Freight and bought one of those like garden sprayers
Mm-hmm.
and then fill it with water And congratulations, now you can hose off your feet.
Mm-hmm.
Thing holds like that's maybe it's not 5 gallons, like 2 or 3 gallons. It's perfect for 4 to 6 people to quickly like hose
Yeah.
off their feet and their shoes. And Heather is the one who's like, we would pick up stickers when we're out and about, and she was like, oh, we should cover it in stickers. So we've been, and I contributed some of my
Oh, the
not even
container. You're
doubles.
talking about
The container, like
okay.
the
The
cylinder
reservoir.
for water.
Okay,
So
yeah.
the reservoir. So I started stickering that. And the funny thing is that even when I, to confess, when I did contribute stickers to that stickering adventure, it wasn't even my doubles. I contributed my triples and my quadruples because I had like piles of like from conventions or like
Yeah.
the Google dinosaur from Chrome and all that stuff. Like I had like fistfuls of that from years on past. So I'm like, oh
Yeah.
no, I'm going to contribute these. And then same thing with yours. I have stickers of yours from ages ago, and I'm
Oh
like,
my gosh,
I
yeah.
I had like 4 or 5 of those, and yeah, I contributed like 1 or 2 from each one. But I'm still no. These are very precious. These stay here. I will never
I
use them.
I still
I
have
just don't
my
know.
old ones. I've only decorated one laptop, and that was when we were working together at the jobby job when I was still there.
Hmm.
Um, and I had specifically purchased the aesthetic that I wanted from a sticker perspective. Like it
Hmm.
was the flash tattoo kind of look. And for me, it was just
Okay.
a fun way. I never had a thumbs up to put stickers on anything, let alone have a laptop. So I was like, fuck it. It's not my laptop. So I just covered in stickers.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's a mood thing. And if you like your equipment and your peripherals to be clean and sleek, then that is your sticker. That's the look
Yeah.
you're going for. People shoving stickers on their laptop, they're just projecting. It's another part of their outfit, right? So,
That's very true. These are just Crocs.
oh my God, don't say that, please. Oh my God.
We're gonna get hate mail.
I'm gonna send hate mail. The next email in the inbox is gonna be from me. Note to self: we never bring Crocs up again. No,
But no,
I don't know. I
it's a
just
good point. I didn't thought about that. It is just accessorizing, and that definitely is a way of peacocking. Like if you walk into the Starbucks and there's REI stickers on the back of somebody's laptop, and I'm like, oh, I know which Subaru in the parking lot's yours. You went hiking this weekend, didn't you? Didn't you?
yeah, exactly. You know, it's
Yeah.
just it really is. It's just a form of yeah, it is peacocking
Because
exactly.
I am not a car bumper sticker person either. Like greatly against that. In fact,
I am of the
my
mind. What did change my mind though? Sorry to cut you off. Is that a long time ago, when I used to see stickers, bumper stickers, or any type of decal on a piece of ass car, I'd get so mad. I'd be like, why would you ruin a vehicle like this? And then eventually, I think I heard it a couple times over a very short span where someone just went like, I spent so much money, I should be able to do whatever the hell I want with this thing. It's mine. And I was like, it's true. Just do whatever the fuck you want with your stuff, like if you want to, you know? Like,
yeah.
don't let that be the reason why you won't customize it or decorate it. But also, I would never do it, so.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's bumper sticker people in this world
Yes.
and non-bumper sticker
Yes.
people.
Yeah.
And
And they go
and it
all
really
in.
yes. Yeah. No, most definitely. Like I just across the world, yes, just from either you've gone all in and you've got your whole family, this stick figure family with, with opinions about fruit you buy at Whole Foods to
Or the whole family
place-
holding AKs. It's my favorite one.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah. All your vacation spots that you've been at in the last 10 years.
I
Those
think
are
that if you have a ship box and you want to cover up
yeah.
some stuff, have fun with that. I collect, what do you call them? Postcards and stuff like that. People send them to me, or like
Yeah.
magnets and stuff. There's certain things that I will hold on to. But the ones that irritate me the most, and I don't want to talk on this for too long. I know we're going to wrap up soon, but I don't care that your kid's an on roll at XYZ school. I don't really give a shit if you're an on roll parent. Mostly because with all of the things that there are to create doubt and all of the reasons that you should be paranoid for even sending your child to school, why are you giving us the location that you have a child that is in this school? Why? Why are you doxing yourself while you're on the
Oh yeah, very true.
I-95? Like, what? Do you not, like, does your
There's only
brain...
one Roxbury High, and I know where that is.
Yeah. My daughter, is an advanced student for blah, blah, blah. Oh, great. I gotta look for the only 6-year-old in a pile of 12-year-olds. Great. Like, I know who it is. So, I don't know. I just think those...
Yeah, that is very true. Yeah, I mean,
Put it on
people
your
do.
keychain. Stop, like...
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely a. I know it's a silly thing, like in this day and age, to say that statement, but it is one of these, like, yeah, theoretically, like you can give away so much by like putting up that kind of thing, or again, even the stick figure family. We're a family of 4 with one tiny dog. Okay, when I rob your house, I'll know I don't have to avoid it's anything big and that will eat me.
Exactly. And people, yeah, it's basically like you're driving around with your Facebook feed where you didn't,
Yeah,
deal with your privacy notifications
that's very true.
well. But anyway,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
But yeah, privacy is one that we could. Yeah, speaking full circle to. Are you listening, Meta? It's me, Phil.
Mm-hmm.
Privacy, baby. Yeah, we could talk for hours on that. So definitely especially like, I don't know, things have gotten so complicated, right? So not guaranteed any privacy. Just turn your computer off and
Oh no,
don't use a
forget it.
bank.
Yeah, or else you're just gonna end up getting pretzels when you didn't think you liked them.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
But then it'll follow you into like the Best Buy. All of a sudden, it'll be pretzel ads everywhere I go. I mean, this is I've ruined. I know I know I'm capable of doing this because I remember when I was hunting for appliances for my kitchen remodel, Heather all of a sudden just started getting nothing but appliance ads all day, every day, in every feed. She's
You
like,
can't
you stepped
avoid
into
it. You're like,
yeah.
what did I
It's
do?
like you stepped foot into my house. Yeah.
Where did I hit accept all on the cookies? God darn. Yeah. I know. So I am curious. Is there a summary of Are You Listening, Meta? That you can, like, what was it inspired by? Are You Listening, Meta? It's me, Phil.
Oh, it was I don't know, my brain snapped to the weird Judy Blume book from childhood.
But this had to do with Instagram?
This had to do with Instagram, which is owned by Meta. Yeah. That's where I was like, yeah, that was the, Instagram. Because it was funny because immediately after I started seeing the ads, they presented me with a survey to offer my thoughts on how Meta is doing in the cyberspace.
Oh, you
and I'm
definitely have something toggled on. You definitely.
Yeah, I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, I'm of the age where surveys. Oh, I will take the time.
I bet
you have
you
my
would,
opinion,
sweetie.
Yeah, sweetie. You would like my opinion? Oh, yeah. So I was more than happy to like questions like, do you think Meta is making the world a better or worse place? Worse. Are the ads you receive relevant?
No.
Oh no, I'm like I'm the spike in their chart. They'll be like, oh, look at these amazing. What is that one? Why is that one all the way on the bottom? What's wrong with this survey? Who is this
they
person?
have troll filters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
Oh no. So you're telling me my stuff doesn't even register? They're like, oh, this is just an angry 40-year-old man. Just delete that response. We don't believe it.
Keywords here are pretzels, Crocs, and what is that? Never mind. We can't say that on TV. Yeah. Well, I want to say thank you for chatting with me and for allowing me to postpone this till today. And
Absolutely.
I'm pretty excited because tomorrow I'm going to go pick up Christina, which means our next episode, I'm not going to say the date because I'm unsure, we'll have a guest. And we can all discuss
visitors
together. Yes.
Excellent.
Which will mean I will be more... I'll be more equipped to talk about the things I observe while I people watch as I live vicariously through Christina's Austin travel experience. So, or that, or I'm just just going to be sitting in the corner fuming while she talks to you. I don't know. We'll figure it out. One or the other. But yeah. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Good night. Toodaloo.
Night. Toodles. Bye.
Bye.